Hello students, this is Amardeep Singh, your computer teacher, and today we are going to start with a new chapter, formulas, functions and charts in MS Excel. In this session we'll introduce formulas, functions and charts, and then we'll discuss about formulas and how to use formulas in MS Excel. So let's start with the introduction to formulas, functions and charts. So first we'll discuss about formulas and functions. A formula and function are used to perform mathematical calculations. So for example, if you want to perform some mathematical calculation on the data stored in MS Excel worksheet, then you can use formulas or functions. So first we'll briefly discuss about formulas and functions separately. So first we'll discuss about formula. Formula are used for simple addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, as well as for complex calculation by writing manual statements. So for example, in this example, if you want to calculate sum of the data stored in two different cells, then you can use, for example, in this statement we are using a1 plus b1. So that means we are going to calculate the sum of the value stored in cell a1 and stored in cell b1. It will automatically calculate the sum of the value stored in these two different cells. And then next we'll discuss about functions. Functions are inbuilt formulas. So that means functions are also formulas, but these are the inbuilt formulas. That means these are already available in MS Excel, and you can use these functions to perform the same type of calculation. But only difference between a function and formula is that in case of formula you have to write manually the a procedure to perform some kind of calculation, like if you want to perform sum, then you have to use plus operator, or the complete formula that you want to calculate. But in case of function you only must have the knowledge of the name of that function, and you have to provide the arguments only. No need to perform any calculation manually. So that means the functions are inbuilt formulas, and user have to provide cell reference and cell address only. These are called arguments of the function. So that means uh, in case of function you have to provide the arguments only. No need to write any manual statement inside the function. So that means you just have to write the name of function, and inside that function you have to provide the arguments. So in this case, this statement, we are using sum function, and this function will calculate sum of the values starting from the range, starting from the A1 cell to A10 cell. So that means we'll calculate sum of A1, A2, A3 up to A10 cells. So colon operator here we are using to define the range. So sum function is also can also be used to perform the same calculations. Next we will discuss about the charts. A chart is basically, as the name suggests, the chart is a graphical representation of the data stored in MS Excel worksheet. We will discuss charts thoroughly in next lectures also. Next we will discuss about formulas and how to use formulas in MS Excel. In Excel, formulas are used to calculate result from worksheet data. So that means, as we discussed in previous slide, that formulas are used to perform mathematical calculations on the data available in a worksheet. Then when there is some change in the data, such as formula automatically calculate the updated result with no extra effort. So that means if you people are using formulas, then whenever you will change the value of a particular cell, the result will automatically will be changed according to the specified formulas. You don't need to perform any kind of manual updation or manually updating the result. So the results will be automatically updated. So you can write this one is known as the formula bar, available in uh, your MS Excel worksheet, and you can type the formula in here in this text box available in the formula bar. And there are some of the elements that we have to discuss before practically using the formulas. So first point is that we must uh, begin with the equal symbol. So that means each and every formula must begin with the equal sign. So that means you have to press equal, then you have to start writing your formulas. And mathematical operations such as the addition or division or multiplication, everything you can use, you have to write the symbol of plus, minus, multiply, division to perform some kind of calculations. Then next, cell reference, reference of cell including name, named range or cells. So that means while writing the formula you have to write the cell reference or range. So that means you can type the name of the cell, for example name of the cell like A1, A2, A3, like that. And you can also specify range if you want to perform calculation on multiple cells in a sequence, then you can also specify the range by using colon operator. We'll discuss about range and cells in practical session also in this lecture. So let's begin with how we can use formulas, how to define formulas. So presently we are having a worksheet, and here we are having a list of students and their obtained marks in different subjects. So presently we are having five records in this worksheet, and they got these marks from a particular subject. And now if you want to calculate sum, for example I want to calculate all sum of all the subjects of roll number 1, then you have to write, you can, I want to calculate total. So if you want to calculate total, then you can write formula. We are having one option that we can use calculator to perform the calculation, but here we are going to use formula. So formula always start with equal symbol. Then you have to specify the name of cells, like this cell, we want to calculate sum of this cell, then this, then this, then, so the address reference of this cell is C2. So that means you have to specify C2. When you will press C2 to check the authenticity, that to check the correctness of your entered cell reference, you can check. When you will press the reference of any cell, the cell will automatically will be selected. So if you will give any wrong reference, for example I have specified C4, then you can check this cell has been selected. So you can see the selected cell, and you can check if you have specified the correct cell reference or not. So I'm going to change C2, then plus symbol, because we are going to calculate sum. Then next we have to calculate D2, then E2, then F2, then G2. So in that particular cell, after the equal operator, you have to specify manually a mathematical formula. So that means this statement will automatically calculate sum of all the values. So presently this one is the sum of all the values. So that this one is the way how we can use the formula. You can also type in a particular cell or in the formula bar also. This one is the formula bar. In here, if you want, let's suppose I'm going to remove the formula, and if you want to write formula here in this bar, formula bar, you have to select the cell, then click on formula bar, and inside the formula bar write the same statement like equal C2 plus D2 plus E2. You can also check that whatever you are typing in this formula, what is automatically you can see here in that cell, particular cell only. Though then next, after F2, then G2. Then after entering the formula, after completion of your formula, just press enter key from the keyboard, and here we are having result. So this one is the way to calculate, to perform such kind of calculation. Let's suppose I want to calculate sum of all the computer subjects, or you can say I want to calculate average of all the marks belongs to computer. Then average that we can calculate. Select the cell. I want to average, to perform average. So just select the cell. This one is just a label, so you can write anything inside this cell. In this cell I want to uh, display the average marks belongs to computer subject. So average, the formula of average, that is that just equal, first of all we have to calculate sum of all the elements, all the cell values. So that means inside the bracket, and after that you have to divide the result with number of items. So you must have some knowledge of some mathematical formulas also. Uh, C1 plus, next we have to calculate this, then that means uh, C2, this cell, and plus C3 plus C4 plus C5 plus C6. Now you can see that all the values have been selected. After performing the sum, then you have to divide the sum with the number of items, number of items to calculate the average. The formula, mathematical formula to calculate average is that you have to calculate sum of all values, then divide all values with the number of items. So presently we are having number of items 5, then divide with 5. So first I put all these value within bracket because I want to calculate sum of all the values, and then that sum will be divided with 5. So after completion of this formula just press enter, then here we are having the average. So that is the way how we can perform calculations. And next if you want to perform if you want to display some percentage, then percentage. Now, the formula to calculate the percentage is same as we have learned in mathematics. To perform calculation, to perform calculation to get the percentage of the marks belongs to a particular student. The formula is that you have to calculate sum, that means obtained marks, divide by maximum marks into 100. So if you want to calculate, so obtained marks are uh, stored in H2 cell, so that means H2, then divide by maximum marks. So presently we are having 1 2 3 4 5 subjects, and each subject is out of 100, that means maximum marks are 500, then into 100. So this formula is used to calculate percentage of the marks obtained by a particular student. So press enter. So here we are having percentage. So in this way you people can calculate you people can perform calculations on a particular cell, or the cell values. So to use the formula you must have knowledge of the mathematical formulas also, because formula, in case of formula you have to write each and every statement manually. So you will be able to you will be able to write that any statement manually only when you will have the knowledge of that particular calculation, how to perform that calculation. For example, the sum is simple, uh, plus symbol, and to perform average you have to calculate the sum of all value and divide all the value with number of item, and in the same way you can calculate the percentage also. So this one is the way how we can use a formula in MS Excel. Next, we'll discuss how to copy a formula from one cell to another cell. So as we discussed in previous topic that how to define a formula. If you will define a formula in a cell, then there is no need to, for example, in this cell when you will want to calculate sum of the marks, then you have to write formula here in this cell. But if you want to perform calculation, same calculation like sum of these marks in this cell, sum of these marks, no need to write the formula again and again to perform calculation. You can write formula in one cell and copy that formula to another cell also. Then by copying formula from one to another cell, then all uh, uh, the calculations will automatically performed on the remaining cells. So to perform copy operation on formula, you have to uh, select the cell where you already defined the formula. Then on the bottom right corner, you have, when you will move your mouse pointer, then your mouse pointer will convert to a plus symbol. Then after that you have to drag. So let's see how we can copy formula. For example, here we have defined this formula to calculate sum of these values. So no need to define formula manually in these remaining cells. You just have to select the cell where you have defined the formula and move your pointer to the bottom right corner. When the default shape of the mouse pointer in Excel is this plus symbol in white color, and when you will move the pointer to this bottom right corner, then the mouse pointer will convert it to the black plus symbol, and then click left mouse button and drag that value. Then now you can check that the formula has been copied, and system will automatically change the cell references, like in here C2 D2 E2, and in next cell C3 D3, and in next cell C4 D4. So automatically system will copy the formula according to requirement. And if you want to perform percentage calculation on all the cell values, then you can also do the same. Select the cell and move the pointer to that one and drag that one. Now we are having the percentage of all the students. So that is how we can copy formula from one cell to another cell. So that is all about how we can copy formula from one cell to another cell. So that is all about present session. In this session we have discussed that how we can use formulas in a particular cell and how we can copy formula from one cell to another cell. So if you people are having any kind of doubt related to these topics, then you can contact me